Traditional ceramic tiles have a very high carbon footprint, predominantly from the high temperature kiln firing process. So what we've done is to look to nature to see how nature manufactures advanced materials like seashells, tooth enamel, and pearl.
Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Dekiln Chief Executive Officer, Dr. Aled Roberts. Aled, very good to speak with you. The Royal Academy of Engineering has named you as one of its inaugural Green Future Fellows, and with the award comes £3 million of funding to benefit the company. What will the funding be used for?
So first of all, I'd just like to thank the Royal Academy of Engineering for believing in us and our vision. So the funding will be used to scale up our technology. So at the moment, we are producing at the lab scale about 1 square metre of tiles per day, and the funding will help us navigate the tricky transition from producing materials at the lab scale up to full scale industrial production. So advanced materials, they often, it's one challenge to produce at the lab, and then it's a whole different challenge to produce at scale. So the funding will provide us with the runway and the resources to get through that valley to the other side.
The Royal Academy of Engineering's new Green Fellowship Futures Programme is designed to support outstanding engineers and innovators to accelerate the transition to net zero, Aled. Can you tell us more about how Dekiln's technology does that?
Yes, so traditional ceramic tiles have a very high carbon footprint, predominantly from the high temperature kiln firing process. So what we've done is to look to nature to see how nature manufactures advanced materials like seashells, tooth enamel, and pearl, learnt from nature to produce materials that are functionally equivalent to ceramics and materials that look, feel, behave like ceramics, but avoid the firing step. So this slashes the carbon footprint and the energy input. In addition, our materials are made with very high recycled content. So we take recycled gypsum plaster, so calcium sulfate, as the mineral component, and combine it with a bio-based active ingredient, which transforms it into a material that looks and feels like a ceramic, but has a much lower carbon footprint and energy input.
Aled, what's next for Dekiln?
So we've just moved into a new facility and we've just upgraded our press from a lab press to the smallest commercial industrial press. So this is the first rung on the ladder for scaling up. So there's undoubtedly challenges when you go from lab scale equipment up to industrial processing equipment. And our first next step is just to go to that first rung of the ladder, translating our process, overcoming those process engineering challenges. And then from there, we'll be working with our UK-based industrial partner to further scale up to a pilot plant.
Aled, I hope you continue to keep us updated with your progress. Thank you very much for taking the time today.
Thank you very much for having me.
That's Dr. Aled Roberts, CEO of Dekiln.